And we are live. Hello. No, stop it. I really want to know how I can turn off all those notifications. Hey, Jessica. I want to know how I can turn off all the notifications on my phone. Like, not just like Messenger or whatnot, but like all the apps and stuff. Sorry, I had a salad. I'm trying to close it so I can put the phone on it. On the box of it. There we go. Okay. Let's see if that works. Kind of, sort of. No, that's too much. Not enough? Too much? Yeah, because that's flattering. Okay. All right, let's try that. All right. Hello, Brianna. Welcome. Welcome. I left my hair tie upstairs. The secret man is upstairs taking a nap, and I don't want to disturb him, so I'm not going to go up there. Hello, Julie. I am doing wonderful. How are you? Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. Yeah, and yes, I did a little bit of a clickbaity thing. Took forever to load. Well, I actually, as soon as you messaged, I literally just got on because I had to do this whole thing because I've been having so many problems with live streaming that now I just go into the advanced settings when I go to live, and I make sure that chat is allowed and that monetization is on and all that stuff. So that way there's no problems. And since I've been doing that, there hasn't been any problems. So knock on wood, because you never know. But yeah, happy New Year's Eve, everybody. I hope you guys have a lot of plans tonight, a lot of safe plans. We want people to be safe. I plan on getting smashed. No, I'm not going to get like drunk, but I do plan on drinking. And yes, I did do a clickbaity title, but technically it's not clickbait because it will be my last paranormal story or paranormal story time in 2018. So it counts, right? Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that I missed your live streams, but I've been watching them. No, don't worry, Julie. That's what they're there for. If you miss the live stream itself, you can always go back and watch it after it's already been uploaded. Yeah, it's not as fun as being a part of the live stream, but if you want to know what happens and like stuff that gets shared and everything, that's like the best way to do it. And I've kind of figured, I'm sure a lot of it ends up being like more of like a podcast type of thing. So it's like you can just have me like in the background so you don't have to look at my stupid face. Yeah. I told Jace I wanted to get smashed. There you go. And you should. You have that right. Oh my God, it is so foggy out today. I don't know. Oh yeah, it is. It's still foggy. It's so beautiful out there. I might show you guys here in a bit. Brianna says, I'm staying home tonight where it's warm and safe. There you go. That's the best way to do it, Brianna. That's the best way to do it. I only got 2 cookies left here. I don't want to eat them because they're the last of the cookies. They're Secret Man's family secret family recipe, apparently too. And these are delicious. I can't pronounce how these are called for the life of me. So I'm not even going to try, but I do know that translated, it translates to melted ice cream, I believe. They don't taste like melted ice cream, but oh, they are still so very good. And I do have coffee here too. Penny for your thoughts, McGee. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Hi, Happy New Year, everyone, he said. Jessica, woo! Penny for your thoughts, McGee. I'm so sorry. I keep like referring to you as a guy, and I'm not sure if you're a guy or a girl, so I'm so sorry if you are a woman. I am very, very deeply sorry. I am doing well. Okay, girl, there you go. See? Okay, I thought so. I think it was the McGee. I think the McGee kind of threw me. I love that. I love that name though. I'm doing well. I'm still a little congested, but I have a cough because, as you guys know, I've quit smoking. So every now and then I have like a really bad phlegmy cough. And the humidity out here has made it a lot better because like my cough got really bad back at home. I don't know if you guys know, if everybody knows this, by the way. I'm in Seattle, by the way. So It's still going. I didn't think that after so long of not having a cigarette that I would still be craving a cigarette. Like I've always been told, like give it 4 days. Initially, you're done. You're quitting. Every now and then you'll have a craving for like the first like couple weeks, but that's about it. Once you're past that 2-week mark, you're officially quit. It's been a month. It's been over a month. I still have really bad cravings. But Jessica said it took me 6 months. There you go. See? And I'm finding that out more and more now that like it's really not just like a 3-day, 4-day thing or even a 2-week thing. Thank you, Brianna. You guys are so sweet. But yeah, I'm finding out that it's a longer process. Like you go quite a while while still having cravings, and it sucks. So it's like I thought I would be over it by now, and especially when I drink. That's the worst part because I used to like love having like a cigarette and beer or a cigarette and a drink. Thank you, Julie. You're so sweet. Thank you guys. Thank you. I will admit though that, you know, I had still for a while, like I would have like one cigarette here and there, like once with a friend and once with a neighbor, but like it wasn't like anything more than that. So that's probably why I still also have some really bad cravings because I did that. But yeah, I don't know. And the whole like gaining weight thing too after quitting smoking. Oh my God, that's been messing with my head because I'm just like, well, if I just have a cigarette, like I won't want to munch and then I won't gain weight. And then I'm like I have to tell myself, like, that's not a good way of thinking, Sarah. Are you hungry more? No, I'm not really hungry more. Not at all. It's basically because I developed a ritual for myself. Like I had a ritual of like I would get my morning coffee and I'd go outside and have a cigarette. And then I would like after every meal, I would go out and have a cigarette. So it's that whole thing of like after finishing a meal, especially is like going out and having a cigarette as like I'm done eating. It would pull me away from the food. It would pull me away from everything, and it would allow my body to send the signals that it needed to send of that, hey, you're full. Stop eating. So there's that, but also like there's a boredom thing. I would smoke way more if I was bored, which is why I had to keep myself really busy the first couple of weeks that I quit smoking, which I was like whipping out paintings like nobody's business. But yeah, no, now it's just like, I mean, I you know, Secret Man got me like lovely paint stuff and everything. By the way, Secret Man is the guy that I'm visiting while I'm out here. He's my boyfriend. He just lives a very private life. So that's why I just call him Secret Man. So just in case if you guys are curious. But yeah, he got me lovely paint stuff and everything. Thank you, Benny. Yeah, it just got me such nice things. And I brought canvases and my paintbrushes and everything with me. But I don't know, like while I've been out here, like painting's not really been something I've been wanting to do because it's like, I want to enjoy my time out here. Like I want to enjoy, but like, you know, spending time with him and enjoying the sights and everything because it's green here. I don't know if you guys have known this, but it's green here. It's beautiful. Yeah. It's like I want to visit. I want to be here. I don't want to like keep myself busy by painting. And so yeah, there's a lot of that level of like boredom that even at home I've encountered where I just didn't feel like painting for whatever reason. And then I would just sit and munch. Imagine munchies as your body's way of saying, hey, where's the thing I need? We don't have it. Cool. Let's eat. Yeah, seriously. Sorry. My nose all of a sudden has just started running. So sorry if I'm being a little gross. But my nose is running. I would much rather do something about it than have it drip while I'm on the live stream. Because that'd be gross. And I have makeup on, so I don't want to blow my nose. Julie Royce. Yeah, it is so awesome there. My brother used to live there. Oh, yeah. I had a Lyft driver the other day because um, Secret Man got off of work and he had to go straight to this place for gaming, and I had to take a Lyft to meet him over there because it's like from one end of Seattle to the other, and so I had to take a Lyft, and I got so freaking lucky. I got a Lyft driver that was actually from Vegas. And so we just got talking about like the differences of living in Vegas versus living here. And she even told me, she was just like, girl, you're in a relationship with a guy out here. You love it out here. You're allergic to the sun. You hate the desert, obviously, from everything you said. Why aren't you moving out here? And I'm just like, well, valid point. But, finances first off. Second off, it's still a new relationship. We're not going to jump into moving in together like that. And also, I have to go back to court with my oldest if I really want to move out of state. And that's something I don't want to do just yet, just because I need to kind of get back on good terms with my ex-husband. So once I do that, then maybe we'll start deal with that. But what everything that I mentioned, like we've been together for a while. I get things settled down with the ex-husband and all that stuff. How long you getting to stay? I am actually out here until the 6th, I think. Yeah, the 6th. Brianna says, since this is your last live stream for 2018, I just wanted to say I'm so happy that I found your channel and I've had so much fun watching you. I can't wait to see what 2019 brings us all. You are so sweet, Brianna. I am so thankful for all of you guys. Okay, seriously, if we're going to get sentimental, let's get deep. All right, so I am so thankful that I started live streaming this year. I can't tell you guys how wonderful it was to start live streaming. And live streaming is so much different than just uploading a video. It's a lot more vulnerable because you're not filtering yourself. You're not putting yourself through an editing system at all. It's all very raw. And and it's like, look at what happened to PewDiePie when he was live. Like, he slipped and said the N-word and everything. I am not terrified of doing that. I am terrified of just offending people just because of the way that I am or the way that I live or just something that it's just something that I say or something that will offend somebody. And then all of a sudden, like my entire life is just out the door. So it's stuff like that I'm just like, I've always been worried about. I've always been scared about. And I didn't want to do live streaming because I just didn't think I even had the following for it. In all honesty, like I have so many videos uploaded and I have like no comments on a lot of them. So I didn't even think I had an interactive audience like you guys. So I mean, and it's funny because it's like I watch so much YouTube. I watch a lot. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I watch Philip DeFranco, Simply Nailogical, Glam and Gore, Swoop, Philip DeFranco. Did I say Philip DeFranco? I watch Bobby Duke's art, Brandon Ferris. Love Brandon Ferris. Threadbanger. Sophia Nygaard, which is funny. I'm not subscribed to her boyfriend. Made You Look. Yes, Made You Look. Oh, thank you, Penny. You're so sweet. I watch a lot. Okay, I watch a lot of YouTube, and oh yeah, and Royalty Soaps. That's one that I recently subscribed to because I just find the whole soap making thing like really fascinating. I think it's really cool. It's something I would never do, but I just love watching it happen because it's very science. Yeah. Very addicting. And I never comment. I never comment on any of them. I mean, I do every now and then, like I will leave a comment if it's like a giveaway. Of course, gotta love those giveaways. Like, I mean, I love, Layer of Voltaire. I subscribe to his channel, the Gothic Homemaking, and yeah, and I won his giveaway, which by the way, I did get his package, you guys, and I'm so sorry I haven't like shown you guys what I got. It's just with coming out here and Christmas and then all of this stuff that everything happened like with my ribs and everything. I did get really depressed, and I will say that the muscle relaxers and the pain relievers that I was on really kind of fucked up my head for a while, and I didn't know it until my mom said something. My mom had mentioned to me that I was being really impatient, and it's not like me. I'm a very patient person. Like, I mean, of course I get frustrated like everybody, but it's unlike me to be snappy unless it's that time of the month, you know? But yeah, so I contacted a friend of mine who I actually met at a hospital. Like he was my phlebotomist. And so I contacted him. I was like, "Do you know anything about these drugs and if they do anything to your mental health or whatnot?" And he was just like, "The muscle relaxers, yeah, definitely. They can really mess with your head." And so I was just like, "Good, got it. Thank you. I'm not taking those anymore." And they did help with the pain in my ribs for a while. Yeah, in case Julie and Penny for your thoughts, Mickey, if you guys didn't know, I actually I'm not, it's not 100% sure whether or not I broke it, but I did have a very, very badly injured rib, and it actually is hurting today. I did that earlier this month, much earlier this month. I think it was like the first like 4 days of December that I hurt myself. Yeah, okay. But yeah, I hurt myself pretty bad. I had to wake up. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's definitely one of those things like the muscle relaxers and the pain relievers, they were really helpful. Like, because the pain was so bad. Like I could barely stand for any length of time without just like having to like put myself in like almost like a meditative state of just like I can get through this. This really fucking hurts though. So, and then I had to do a lot of walking and everything too because I was still wanting to get my kids from school or take them to school. And I mean, in the mornings it was really painful. I couldn't after a while, like I could not go with to take them to school, but I was able to still go with to pick them up. Because my mom would do it for me. But yeah, I watched that one. I hope you're doing better. I'm doing a lot better. It's just today, I went to sit up in bed, because Secret Man is off of work for today. He was supposed to go to work, but he wasn't feeling up for it. So it was like, not a big deal. My family is known for having addictive personalities, so I have to be extremely careful about what medications I take, says Jessica. Yeah, seriously. I have the same problem. I have like alcoholics in my family, drug addicts in my family, and all on my dad's side of the family, and some on my mother's side of the family as well. And I even actually had an uncle that committed suicide while he was on antidepressants. So yeah, it's like it's one of those things that like I didn't even take the time to really process and think about how the medications were affecting me. I did know that I was feeling really impatient and I was feeling like just aggravated at everything. I knew this, but I thought it was because of the pain. I didn't think it was because of the medication. And then when I talked to my mom about it, that's when I really started thinking about it. And then I talked to my phlebotomist friend who told me about that, about the muscle relaxers. Excuse me. So I stopped the muscle relaxers, but I did continue to take the pain relievers for a little bit. And I noticed that it wasn't that they were making me loopy or anything because the muscle relaxers did, but I did notice that like I was just snappier than usual, even still with the pain medication. So I just oh, and I was like developing like a sinus infection. Like I think I might be allergic to whatever's in that pain medication because like my ears were getting plugged and like this whole like ear, nose, and throat area was just swelling. Just swelling. Like it wasn't irritated, it wasn't painful, it just felt like it was swelling. And as soon as I stopped taking them, each day afterwards, like it just kept getting lighter and lighter and less, and I felt better. And then when just before I left Vegas to come out here to Seattle, my nose picked up again, but that was just because of sinuses, because it's all just dry. It's just dry. It's winter. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, while I've been out here, it's been a lot better, and my cough has gotten a lot better. And I think it's just because of the humidity, but it's still so foggy out there. You know what? I'm just going to show you guys. It's so pretty. I hope I don't give you guys motion sickness. It is really pretty out here, and I'm God, you guys, don't even know. Don't even know. Let me. The screen door gets caught a little bit just because. Yeah, seriously. Okay, are you guys ready for this? Look at that. That's not far either. Those trees right there, that's not far. Those trees are probably like 20 feet away. Yeah. And then there's houses over there that you can't really, you can kind of see a little bit. Those are just like neighbors. They're not far at all. Oh, it's so cold. It's so cold. Oh, and there's a bird. It's so pretty. Sorry. But yeah, had to show you guys because it is gorgeous. It's foggy over here too. Oh, good. God, isn't it just stunning? Like, I've never seen fog like that before. Never. That blew my mind when I saw that this morning. I was just like, I came down here expecting any fog to be gone. Ooh, sorry. Because usually that I've noticed out here is that like the fog will be in like really early morning, and then by I say like about 8 or 9 o'clock. Yeah. It is really cool, Julie. It is really cool. But yeah, about like 8 to 10 o'clock, I should say. Anywhere from 8 in the morning to 10 a.m. The fog just kind of clears up. And like you can still see it. Like it's still a little kind of foggy and misty and everything, but a lot of it is gone by anywhere from 8 to 10 a.m. So like by the time I came down here, it was like, I think it was like 10:30, 11. Excuse me. It was like around 10:30 or 11 by the time I came down here. And I was expecting the fog to just be completely gone. So I just didn't even care to really look. And I didn't want to turn on all the lights in the house because I feel really bad that like the whole family is gone and it's just me and Secret Man. And I don't want to like, I just don't want to be that person that's like turning on all the lights and like wasting all the power and everything and making them have like a huge power bill. So like, I'm just like trying to be as considerate as I possibly can while I'm here because I'm just so thankful that they were so nice to me before they left. But yeah, so like I was going to open up the curtains and everything to bring in more light. And that's when I saw how misty and foggy it was. And I was just like, oh, it's so pretty. I just kind of lost my shit. I even brought my camera out. Like I usually film on this, guys, by the way. If you guys see my pre-recorded videos, this is what I record with. Hey, Pearl. Oh, you just missed it. I just took you guys outside to show you. So I'll show you what I have on my camera if it'll show really well. Let me see here. So I got some close-ups of like the dew that's like on the plants and everything. It almost looks like frost. Like here, I don't know if we can see this. Oh, come on. There we go. But you see how the leaves look outlined? It actually looks like frost, but that's just the morning dew. Like everything's wet out there. So pretty. It's so freaking pretty. Oh, it's so freaking pretty. But Yeah, let me see. You know what? Actually, it looks like the fog has gotten denser since this morning, because this was the picture that I took of that same house that I showed you guys. So it seems like the fog got a little bit denser. What do you guys think? But yeah, that's like just a next door neighbor, Pearl. Like they're like really close. Like there's one house there, and then there's across the street. They're just right there. Oh, see, okay, so like there you go. Sorry about the interruption. It might happen again. Connection here has been really bad lately. Secret Man's been telling me that it's just because of this house. Like usually the connection just gets really bad randomly. So anyway, but yeah, a lot of people have told me that like, oh, in Seattle, like it always rains. It's just always muggy and it snows every winter. And it actually turns out that it doesn't snow in Seattle. It doesn't snow. I think it has something to do with the oceans right there. Not sure. Pearl says it was supposed to be cooler here. It's 70. 70. Oh my God, I would be pissed. It's been that way in Vegas before, where like I remember one December, it was like in the middle of December and it was like 84 degrees outside. I was livid. I was so mad. I was just like, who the fuck thinks this is a Christmas? This is not a fucking Christmas. Turn off the Christmas music. It's not Christmas. Yeah, seriously, I would be too, Pearl. I would be completely over it with you, because it's just not even cool. It's like, no. Winter is winter, and it needs to be winter. It hasn't snowed yet, unlike last year. I remember, yeah, last year it snowed a lot for you guys. I remember all those videos and everything you guys were showing on Facebook. By the way, you guys, yeah, I personally know Jessica, which is funny. We've never actually met in person, but we do personally know each other because she is friends with my best friend Emmy, and it's a funny story, actually. I thought she was Emmy's sister because they share the same first name. Totally confused. But I still love Jessica all the same. She is just as amazing and wonderful, and I love her to death. One of these days we'll meet in person. One of these days it will happen. For fuck's sake, like really. But yeah, I really do want to move out here. I love it. I'm sorry. I'm like scrambling in my head because I want to talk about anything and everything with you guys. And I know, again, clickbaity title, but you know what? It's the last day of 2018. You guys got to give me something. I don't normally do clickbait shit. So, but I will share with you guys a paranormal story. Because there was one that I thought about a month or so ago, and I was just like, oh yeah, why haven't I shared that story? Hey, Couch! Hey! So glad you got to get on! Clickbait! It is clickbait. But you gotta give it to me. I don't normally do clickbait. Give me something, man. I'm gonna have this cookie now. But yeah, there was one story that I realized I haven't shared with you guys yet, and I haven't remembered it since. Oh, now you got Jessica in on it. Fuck you both. Those cookies are so good. Okay. So I don't know if you've heard of this one, Jessica, but there is a park in Las Vegas. Well, actually, I don't know if it's in Las Vegas or if it's in Henderson, but it's called Fox Ridge Park. And 240p, what the shit? Whoa, why is it so bad? It might be my connection, guys. I'm so sorry if you guys are experiencing really poor quality. It could be because of my connection. Oh, okay, so you don't know about Fox Ridge. Okay. So yeah, it could be my connection. It could be yours, Couch. But yeah, Fox Ridge Park. I want to say it's in Henderson, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So for you guys that don't really know the layout of Las Vegas is basically the center of the bowl that is the valley. So you have Las Vegas, that's like basically the dead center. You have North Las Vegas, which is north of Vegas, of course. And then south of it, you have Henderson, Green Valley is kind of part of Henderson. They're trying to become their own city, though. And further south or southeast, you have Boulder City. And Boulder City is like, I'd say about an hour away from Vegas. Henderson is right up next to Vegas, though. Vegas is a big stinky onion. It has layers like an ogre, says Couch. Tell me how you really feel. But yeah, so in Henderson, I believe, is Fox Ridge Park, and or hell has layers. Hell does have layers. 9 specifically, right? 9 layers of hell. Wasteland, there you go. But yeah, I don't know where that one is. Actually, yeah. Fox Ridge Park has this big old lore. Supposedly, before the park was there, in Henderson, of course. It's an inside joke with Vegas people. So anyway, it is a horrible inside joke. It is the worst. But yeah, no, my friend Jody got me into doing that whole in Henderson, of course. So in Henderson, of course, is Fox Ridge that has this lore of before the park was there was a man that chased a woman onto what is now the Fox Ridge property. He chased a woman onto this property and killed her with an axe. That all supposedly has been debunked, that it's not even a true story, that it's just a lore or something that people started a rumor of. I personally never took that story into any consideration because just the sound of it just sounded really cliche and fake. So I never really cared about that story. But supposedly the biggest story that surrounds Fox Ridge is based around a young boy. And supposedly this boy would always sneak out of the house and go to the park and swing on the swing sets. And one day, after he snuck out of the house and went to go swing on the swing sets, because his family lived really close to this park. So cliche, it must be true, says Jessica. I don't know about that. There are some really cliche stories that really are just made up. Otherwise, I would probably be like, it's one of those, it sounds really dumb and must be true kind of things. But no, I actually am pretty sure, like, even police have looked into it, that it's just completely, excuse me. I keep losing signal, says Pearl. I'm so sorry. Oh, God. Okay. Let me see. Let me see if turning off the Wi-Fi helps. If it doesn't, I'll go back to Wi-Fi. So here's hoping. Okay. We'll see how this works. I'm off the Wi-Fi now. No, it's mine, not yours, says Pearl. Okay, well, I'm still going to do that just in case, just because I have already been booted off. So it might be my connection too when it comes to Couch. And if anybody else is also experiencing poor quality. So I hope that fixes things, and hopefully I don't get kicked off. So we'll figure this out. We'll go from here. For whatever reason, you paused because I took my headphones out. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, phones do that when you take out headphones, but also I did do the whole thing. So I don't know. Maybe technology is weird, guys. Anyway, so back to Fox Ridge. So supposedly one night when this boy snuck out of the house to go to the park and swing on the swing set, supposedly there was a drunk driver that was heading down the road that's like right by the park itself. So like the park is right there, and there's a main road just right in front of it. Supposedly the guy lost control and went right into the swing sets and killed the boy. There is no record of this, and by the time Henderson and everything and the park would have been built and everything, it would have been documented. especially by police authorities. Even if it was something that happened in the 80s, that definitely would have been something that would have been documented, and there are no documentations of that ever happening. But people still say that there are a lot of things that happen to them. Now, here's my whole thing about Fox Ridge. It is a huge EMF bubble, electromagnetic field. If you guys have microwaves, fridges, ovens, computers, light switches, toasters, any of this stuff, anything that produces electricity, it does push off a level of electromagnetic fields. And that's just from the electricity currents and everything that just causes this field to come out. And depending on how well the wires are insulated and made and everything, depends on how much of the EMF field is let out. And to a certain level, it can be extremely unhealthy, to the point where you can have hallucinations, vomiting, body rashes, all kinds of things can happen to you if you are exposed to too high of an EMF. And for long periods of time, there is a theory out there. I don't know if it's true or not nowadays, considering that more science has come out since, especially in the 10 years that I've been personally paranormal investigating. But when I first researched it, there was a theory that long time exposure to high EMF fields can cause cancer. So there's that as well. So there's all these things to kind of take into consideration when it comes to an EMF field. And I personally am very sensitive to EMF fields. If I ever come in any kind of contact to one, or if I come near anyone, I can almost feel exactly where it is based off of where my head is. I kid you not. I will have an instant headache as soon as I enter any EMF field, especially above a certain level. And at my brother's house, he had a 0.9 EMF field, which is pretty big. Anything above a 0.9 is just dangerous. You want to stay below a 0.6. That's the safest. So, I mean, if you have like a light switch or a refrigerator that puts off more than that, that happens. That's normal. You just got to try to do your best to avoid that area. So like for me, in one of the corners of my room, where actually my art station is at, there is a bit of a EMF bubble there from the refrigerator that's on the other side of the wall. And so I've kind of made that area kind of just like an area, because there's not really anything I can do about it, but I always make sure that I don't put my bed over there. Keep my bed away from there, make sure that I don't stay in that area for long periods of time. And I don't paint every day. And when I do paint, I only paint for like a few hours a day, and then I go do other stuff because I'm a mom. But yeah, so keeping all this in mind, you have, you have Fox Ridge Park, which actually I think it's like a bit at an angle. Yeah, I think it's more like this. It's a weird shaped park. So Couch says it's a tulpa, a Tibetan thought form, explains why the story changes based on what people believe. Also, I wonder if certain people can generate EMF bubbles. I seem to recall profound headaches in a certain person's presence. That could actually just be you having very sensitive empathic abilities. I have heard people having like almost in a sense of an allergic reaction to another human being because of their energies. Not necessarily because of their thoughts or anything, but just because their energies like clash with yours to such a level to where you feel sick, you feel irritable, you will get headaches for no reason, stuff like that. So I have heard that is a thing. So might want to look into that, Couch. Cause yeah, sorry, my hair is just really kind of messed up today because I let it air dry, so it's not straight like it normally is. It's just kind of all over the place. It's doing its own thing. But yeah, I knew going into, oh, hey, Charlie. Oh, that's okay. I'm so glad you got to pop in for just a bit. We were talking about Fox Ridge Park in Las Vegas. It's supposedly a haunted park, but spoiler alert, I don't think it is. A lot of people say it is, but we did actually catch some evidence. So, yes, yes, you are. You are Couch. And you should definitely look into more stuff because I'm actually surprised that you didn't already know that. Because I got that from you when I first met you. But yeah, so Fox Ridge Park, going into it, I just, like I said, something about it just didn't seem right to me. Like all these stories and everything that I was hearing about it, I was just like, because this was one of those investigations, I couldn't go without already knowing what all the claims were because I've always known about Fox Ridge being the haunted park and all this stuff happening to people. People saying that like they would have their hair pulled, their clothes pulled, swing set would move on its own. Vegas is a very windy town. It is very windy. It is always windy. But yeah, and it's not only that, it's just like it just sounds too convenient. Like the little stories that come with it, like the guy that like axed his wife or whatever on that property, and then the boy that gets hit by a drunk driver. It's just like, it just sounds like very convenient stories. You know, it's like, it's definitely something that just came to me as like, that definitely sounds like somebody just came up with something on the top of their head. I get a lot of deja vu, especially I'm having a lot of headaches or just pressure near my temples. Really, Jessica. I get deja vus as well, and I actually will get into that in a little bit because I do want to have a discussion about deja vus here. So I went to Fox Ridge. I was already kind of in a pissy mood because I didn't want to, I felt like I was wasting my time, honestly. And I will say I get kind of like I do get a little stuck up when it comes to certain locations that I know, and I just don't care to waste my time in investigation, and I just know nothing's going to happen, but I have to do it anyway. And 9 times out of 10, what you're doing as an investigator is nothing. And it's just so annoying to know that you're going to go in doing nothing. And you're not going to get anything out of it, but you still got to do it. It's like, oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. So anyway, I went to Fox Ridge. Okay. So we did do a whole investigation. This was when I was in a previous group. We did do the whole EMF thing. We found the field. It's like huge, and it's like in the middle of the grass area of this park, which is funny because it does kind of sink in. If I remember correctly, the park itself does kind of sink in, and it just definitely seems like they had some underground wiring or something that wasn't installed properly. I'm getting a little excited talking about this. I took on a girl on a date there once. It's kind of creepy. No, yeah, definitely. I will say that Fox Ridge Park actually does have a very creepy vibe. And I think I know why. The lighting there is terrible. It is awful. There's very few lights, and the park itself, like aside from like the jungle gym kiddie area, the field itself where it kind of like divots inward, it's dark, like dark. And there's no lights. There's no lights on this field at all. So once it's dark out, that's it. If you get away from the jungle gym area, you are in the abyss. And it's interesting because I'm not used to seeing parks so poorly lit like that. But you know, it's Henderson, of course. So I was really fascinated by that. Just tuned in, says Emily. What's going on? And hello. Hello. Welcome. I wonder what happened to Candace. She hasn't been joining the last couple of live streams. I hope she's all right. I'll send her a message on Discord. But we are currently talking about Fox Ridge Park in Las Vegas. I'm not in Vegas still. I'm in Seattle, and I wanted to share a paranormal story before the end of the 2018. Since I started doing live streams this year, hey, kind of like a little homage to 2018, a little bye-bye, ta-ta, there's the door, don't come back. Don't let it hit you in the ass on the way out, 2018, because 2018 sucked. Anyway. But yeah. Fox Ridge Park is, yes. Fox Ridge Park is supposedly known as a very haunted park in Las Vegas or Henderson. It's a town that butts right up south of Las Vegas. And the more I think about it, the more I'm pretty sure that Fox Ridge is in Henderson and not Vegas. So in case if you guys ever want to go check it out. But yeah, I just to catch you up a little bit, Emily, I did go there for an investigation with a previous group that I was with. We found that there was a huge EMF field in the grass field itself of the park, which can cause hallucinations and paranoia and all that stuff. So I think that a lot of people got their ideas for the ghost stories because of that EMF field. Because I personally don't think that park is haunted at all. I really don't. That's just my prerogative, because I feel as a paranormal investigator, it's my job to be a skeptic. I want to be proven wrong. And I will say that something is not haunted until I am proven wrong. That's my job. And that's how I feel that makes me a good investigator. I'm not a great one by any means. I have a lot more experience to gain, but I just feel that having that mindset helps keep me as a good investigator. And when it comes to Fox Ridge Park, I'm not convinced that that place is fucking haunted whatsoever. I would love to be proven wrong, of course, but I don't think I'm going to be. But yeah, so we did the whole EMF meters and audio recorder things at the swings. Christy, which she does sometimes join in on the live streams. You guys have seen her. Her thing is I'm Photo Mom. So if you ever see that, that's Christy. She was a co-investigator. She was the one that was taking pictures at the place and everything. I was camcorder duty and everything. I think we did get some kind of evidence or something. I honestly don't think it was anything worth noting, though, because if I remember right, it was all through the K2 meter. And the K2 meter reads EMF fields. And so considering that there's a huge, gigantic EMF bubble over the field itself of the park, I don't think that it's worth noting or taken into any consideration about. But we did end up finding something that was very interesting. Christy did, specifically. She was taking photos around of the park and everything, like I was mentioning. And she found a green orb in one of her photos. And she actually kept taking pictures, because that was the only way she could see it, was when she would take a picture, then it would show up. She wasn't seeing it any other time, even through her camera. She wasn't seeing it. It was only when she would take the picture. So she was taking the picture and she would take it in the same spot, and you could see that it was actually like moving. So she would move her camera and keep taking pictures until we lost it. And that was the one fascinating thing that happened. Do I think it was something paranormal? Possibly. Do I think that means that Fox Ridge is possibly haunted? No. You can be out in the open, and I have a theory about wandering spirits that they're stuck on this plane and they know they're dead. Because there are intelligent hauntings. They know that they're stuck on this plane. So you think that they're going to be tethered to a building for the rest of their haunting life? I don't think so. I have a theory that they do wander around, because I have had experiences where weird things would happen one day and it just would never happen again. So Emily says, you think the bubble over the field could be some kind of alien activity, not to sound weird. No. Being a paranormal investigator doesn't necessarily mean just spirits. I only personally investigate spirits because I don't like to investigate anything physical, like Wendigos or Sasquatch, Bigfoot, whatever you want to call them. All that other stuff, aliens especially too. I personally don't like to go after those things because I know that there are consequences to that. And when it comes to something that's non-physical, like spirits, I know what I'm doing. I know how to handle things. I know how to handle demons and evil spirits and good spirits, intelligence, all that stuff. I know how to handle that stuff. When it comes to something physical that could actually harm me, that's where I do get scared. I do get like legitimately terrified. And mainly a lot of it is just because I'm a mom and I have kids that rely on me. So salt and burn the bones. Yeah, there you go. Maybe one day when my kids are grown and they don't rely on me, I wouldn't be so scared to go after those things. But it's just right now, since my kids are so young and everything, I don't want to put myself in that kind of predicament because that's what terrifies me, is leaving my kids while they're so young. So maybe when they're older and they won't care as much, then I'll go hunting after stuff. But to answer your question, Emily, I don't think it was anything alien related. Yes, it was green, but no, I don't think that has anything to do with it. It could. I mean, it very, very much possibly could. Just because on the fact alone, we don't know. We don't have any facts of whether or not aliens exist. Yes, I believe aliens do exist because we are in a vast universe that we can't be the only ones. And I've seen UFOs myself. I have seen them. And I've seen them like different times too. I've seen them expectingly. I've seen them unexpectedly. So I personally feel that aliens do exist. But do I feel like that they live on our planet or things like that, or they tamper with stuff, or they do stuff like that, like with the whole cameras and whatnot? I don't know. I don't know what the extent of their technology is. I don't know what the extent of their connection to us is, So that to me is just something that's just all up in the air, and I don't know. I it's so hard for me to talk about because I don't know. It's just something that kind of does make me a little uncomfortable just because of that fact alone. Hello. He's alive. Brianna says, I agree. I've had a few weird experiences in my house, but that doesn't mean my house is haunted. It doesn't happen all the time, just once in a while. Yeah, and there's that too. I mean, there's very inconsistent things that can happen when it comes to something that is haunted. I've had people tell me that like their house is constantly like lights turning on and off, doors opening and closing, all kinds of things happening. And go ahead, do what you need to do. He's being so sweet. But yeah, it's when I go in there and I do my thing, they're like, oh, that's weird. Like, it's very inactive today. And I'm just like, well, that's because I'm somebody new. And there's also that possibility of spirits knowing that I'm there for that connection to communicate with them. So they're purposely just sitting there like, I ain't seeing shit. It's all a possibility that we don't know. All of this is so unknown, and that's what I think makes it very fascinating for me personally, which is why I love investigating, because I would love to know if spirits do that, if they see somebody that's like there specifically for them and they're just like, well, I'm staying quiet for the rest of tonight. I don't know. I think that would be fun to actually put that into stone. Jessica, when I was 2, I would see my grandfather in a corner in my grandma's trailer, but that's only where I would see him. Yeah, see, and there's things like that too, because like I was 4 years old when I was 3 or 4. At my family's old house, the house that I was actually born in. Supposedly, when I was 3 or 4, I saw my grandpa as an apparition. When I was that little, they told me I saw him as an angel. So that was my thing that I told everybody for many, many years, that I saw my grandpa as an angel. Now I don't believe in angels, obviously, but yeah, I don't know why I saw him. I don't know what instigated that. I do know that he passed away before I was born, and I never got the chance to meet him that all my other siblings did. All my other siblings have memories with him and everything. I'm the only one that doesn't. And not only that, my grandpa loved little kids. He loved all of his grandkids, especially. And my dad always told me that he would have loved me because of how weird and crazy and creative I am, that my grandpa would have absolutely adored me. And so knowing that I saw him as an apparition now as an adult, it's like, oh, that's sweet. But it's also like, man, I want to know more. Like, why haven't I seen him since? Why wasn't only there at that house at that time? And like all this other stuff, you know? But yeah, I still think that it's really cool. Brianna, the most recent thing that happened was last night. The channel changed by itself. I was nowhere near the remote. Wouldn't that just be a weird malfunction with the TV or something? It could. It depends. Do you have like a smart TV or something like that? Babe, you could eat down here. Babe. You went upstairs. I never got to meet him, though. He died before I was even conceived. Oh, yeah, actually, my grandpa, too. Like, I wasn't even thought of when my grandpa passed away. It was just one of those things, like, from my understanding, what happened was he had an aneurysm in his colon, and they told him, and they were like, either we go and have surgery and fix this, or you bleed out and die. And he had had so many heart surgeries. He had so many surgeries just in itself. So he just was like, I don't want to have surgery. Just let me die. And like 15 minutes later, he was. Excuse me. So, and my parents and my siblings, they were all there at the hospital. They weren't there at his bedside, but they were told, like, you know, give him a minute to think about it. Go get something to eat. Go get the kids something to eat. And we'll have our moments with him. And so I guess they didn't know how bad the bleeding was, from my understanding. They didn't know that it was that bad. So that's what happened. Emily, I have a smart TV. It turns itself off sometimes. Brianna, no, we still have the old TV with the box in the back. Oh, huh. Do you happen to have like a universal remote at all? Or do you even know if maybe, do you happen to have neighbors that are really close? Like, you know, those houses or townhouses, or just, I don't know if you even live in an apartment or house. So if you live in a house that's separated from other houses, if you live in like a townhouse where it's all like sandwiched together, or if you live in an apartment, because sometimes universal remotes can be like, they can like just hit like a certain area just right where it goes through the walls. It's all through IR, but you never know. Like, or I've actually seen it happen where people have switched the remote on the other side of a wall and it's changed the channel. I've seen it happen, even though it's supposed to just be through an IR light. So IR meaning infrared, in case if you guys aren't sure. Jessica, oh, my grandfather died of a heart attack getting out of his car with my mom and newborn. Oh my God, newborn older brother. Jesus Christ. That's horrible. I am so sorry. See, yeah, and it's just like one of those things, like it's just so sudden. Yeah, here, hold on, let me see. I'm going to message Secret Man. Here, you didn't have to go upstairs. There. I live in a house, but the houses are close together. Okay, so it could be like if you have a neighbor that happens to have a universal remote, that could be a situation like that. If you have anybody in the house that has a universal remote, definitely just see if that's the situation. If there are no universal remotes around, and I know that's like a weird thing to ask your neighbor, just be like, hey, by any chance, do you have a universal remote? I know. But I mean, you don't have to, obviously. But if you do, if you get that opportunity to ask them, it might help. It's weird. I ask my neighbors weird shit too because of like things that happen. Like, hey, do you have weird things that happen in your house? Like, doors just open and close, where it sounds like somebody's doing your dishes and there's really no one there. Hold on, Secret Man just responded. You're not interrupting. He said he didn't want to interrupt. Apparently, I don't know how to spell. Come back. There we go. Okay, sorry. Okay. Brianna, yeah, okay, so I read that. Emily reminds me of the Poltergeist movie. Yeah, I know, right? Especially when it comes to TVs. They always got to bring back the whole Poltergeist thoughts. They're here. I haven't seen that in so long, though. I gotta watch that again. But yeah, no, Fox Ridge was a great investigation. Don't get me wrong. It was a lot of fun and it was a lot of learning, but there are no records of anybody ever dying on that property. And come back and love me. Love me. Love me. Come down here. Hopefully he'll come down here. Brianna, I'll tell my neighbors Happy New Year. By the way, do you have a universal remote? Happy New Year. What kind of remotes you guys got? Just curious. Use universal at all? Universal remotes? You know, the ones you program for your TV because you lost your actual one? You remember the scenes where the dads were changing each other's TVs through what was that, through the windows? Yeah. Oh my God, that was actually something that I did too with my siblings. We actually had a universal remote, and we found the original remote, so we didn't need the universal one anymore. But it was still programmed to the TV. So when we would get really bored, we would hide behind the pony wall in my house. And we would just sit there and because the universal remotes were so powerful, like, I don't know if it was because they had to be a universal remote or what, but we would be able to sit behind the pony wall, not even lift the remote, but just sit there and change the channel. And like, I would see my brother on the couch and being like, no, what the hell? What's going on? And like, I got the biggest kick out of it. It was one of the few times I could actually really prank my brothers. Because, you know, I'm 6 and 5 years younger than them. My oldest brother is 6 years older. The other is 5 years older. And they're both pains in my ass. I love them, don't get me wrong, but they drive me crazy. There, I sent a heart emoji. And I come back. Come back and love me. But yeah, no, I like I was saying, Fox Ridge is great. And that's the thing that you guys got to take away from, like, if any of you guys get started into paranormal investigating, definitely just take it all with a grain of salt. Even when you have a really good investigation, take it with a grain of salt, because there's always that possibility that something else could be influencing or causing things to happen or whatever. I mean, of course, unless you have like really hard evidence, then of course rejoice and like treasure that shit. Also, make sure that you get yourself your own copies of the evidence, because that was something I didn't do. Granted, it was during a time that was before like really good SD cards and things like that. I was recording on a camcorder with those high 8 tapes. So getting a copy was not really a thing, which sucks, but yeah, always get a copy of your own evidence that you capture if you guys are a part of a group. Always ask for that copy and always follow up and make sure you get your copy. Even if it's just a file for your computer, just do that. If it's a photograph, you can get a printout or a file for your own computer as well. But also just know that dead investigations are not just wasteless. Like, I mean, yeah, Fox Ridge felt very wasteful for me, but I did still learn a lot. I still learned that a public place like a park can still have an EMF field, which still to this day is like, it's something I have to remind myself of, like, oh yeah, like parks can have an EMF field. It's not really something you think about. Emily says, I have the cable TV app on my phone. Sometimes I'll mess with hubby's dad and I'll change the channel on the living room TV from the bedroom. That's mean. That's so funny though, but it's mean. Jessica, I do that to Willow when she crawls away from me. Come back and love me. She'll just turn around and stare at me, giggle, and crawl away. Yeah, oh my God. Oh, kids. I remember when Leilani would actually start walking away from me in the store. I was able to do the whole like, oh, okay, fine, bye. And she'd turn around and be like, no. And she'd come running back to me. So I was able to keep her close to me then. But Bella, as you guys know, she is a monster. She is a monster child. She drove me nuts. Sometimes he has it coming. Oh, I'm sure. Trust me, I hear about like grumpy old man stories all the time because like my mom is going through that with her dad, and I don't care for the guy myself. He and I have never really developed a relationship. He's one of my only like grandfathers, because I had 3 technically. I actually feel like I had more of a relationship with a grandfather that passed away before I was born than the grandfather that is still alive. It's sad, really. So I just don't care for the guy. But she's going through that all the time now, where like she's telling me stories about shit that he's pulling with her brother, my uncle. And sometimes I'm just like, oh, that's funny. But other times I'm just like, I really don't care, Mom. I love you, but I don't care. Julie says, is there ever a lot of homeless people that you run into during these investigations? That's a great question. Publicly, yes. So when it comes to cemeteries, parks, things like that, yes. Usually when it comes to like a business, you know, we're usually indoors. Residents, obviously, we're usually indoors. So it's not ever really usually anything that we have to deal with homeless. I've never personally investigated an abandoned building because I didn't want to get any arrests. I didn't want to get anything on my record. So I was never a part of anything that involved breaking and entering into any abandoned building at all. There was one time I investigated at Woodlawn Cemetery, which is the oldest cemetery in Las Vegas. It is in the downtown area. If you guys are ever interested, just look up Woodlawn, spelled just like wood and lawn. Where is he? There we go. Yeah, it's bound to happen when you're doing public outdoor investigations, says Jessica. Yes, absolutely. Woodlawn Cemetery, because now I do highly recommend, if you guys come to Vegas, you want to go see Woodlawn Cemetery. It is, like I said, it's the oldest cemetery in Las Vegas, but it is in that downtown area, and it's not in the greatest of the downtown areas. It's really in a bad spot. So if you go there, I highly recommend you go during the day. You do not go alone. Go with someone. If you have no one else to go with, contact me, DM me. I will meet you there. And so you are not alone. It is not safe to go there alone. It is not safe to go there at night. There is a lot of homeless there, and there are a lot of homeless that like to go into that cemetery and shoot up drugs on graveyards. So creative, yes. But there's like amazing headstones there from like 1908 and 1911 and all that stuff. And it's like they all have like some of them have like nicknames along with their actual name. I think there's a couple of like unknown ones as well. There's just it's so cool. It's such an old cemetery. As you get like towards Main Street, I think it is, when you get towards Main Street of Woodlawn Cemetery, that's the oldest section of the cemetery. If you go on the other side, you'll even notice the headstones are just a lot more updated and everything. So you don't want to deal with that side. Just don't bother with that side. Go to the old side. That's where all the fun stuff is. You can sit next to me if you want. I won't put you in the frame.
I was just gonna sit down.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see how it is. He's going to the couch. Because it's not comfy on these chairs. But it is. I got him downstairs, though. Everybody was on my side. They were all like, come back and love me. Have you done any investigations in Reno? Good question, Jessica. I would love to. I have not. A life goal is also to do investigations in Virginia City. I have not been there. I've not even visited Virginia City. I want to so bad. I have done an investigation in Carson City, but not Reno. Reno, there is a lot in Reno. Don't get me wrong. Carson City had a lot more, though, because they had the Indian schools there. And I did an investigation at the Stewart Indian School. And learning a lot about that school was, it was just a rough night. First off, I've investigated Goldfield. Girl, I've investigated Goldfield. Not the Goldfield Hotel. I'll explain that in a second. Carson City had the Stewart Indian School that is incredibly haunted. That was actually one of the few public places that was so haunted that like I couldn't go without seeing things. It was amazing. It was intense. It was just, I just remember just like going from building to building was great and it was fun. And we were able to debunk a lot of things, because there was one thing that was happening in the gym that everybody was talking about was every so often you would hear this really loud squeak, and people were thinking that it was a paranormal response. And I was just like, well, I want to go to the gym. I want to see this for myself. I want to see if it's happening in a certain pattern. And while I was there, it was a very loud, just ear-piercing screech. We had special permission to be there because it is still like protected land and everything. So if you try to go to the Stewart Indian School, please make sure that you get permission to go first. But yeah, so we were in the gym. There was even still some buildings we couldn't even enter. But the gym was one of my favorites because I heard that ear shrieking sound. Oh, it gave me a bad headache. But I noticed it was happening like almost like on the dot after so many seconds. And so I was just trying to pay attention where the sound was coming from, because being in a gym, it's very echoey. So it was really hard to kind of figure out where it was coming from. And then I noticed they had a clock there it was a working clock, but the hour and minute hands were broken. So, but you could still see the second hand just ticking away. So I was watching it, and sure enough, when it came to where the minute and hour hands were, it moved them and it caused that high-pitched shriek for just a second as it went past them. And I was just like, nailed it, debunked, move on, we are done here. I was so proud of myself. But going from building to building was intense because in your peripheral, you could see crowds of people. No one else was there but us. And there were crowds. I would look and it was nobody. I'd look to the left of me, there was nobody. I'd look in front of me, in my peripheral. There was like just a shit ton of people all around me. And it was just insane. And it was intense. And there was even a time where a co-investigator of mine named Andy, he and I were sitting down taking a break. And he was sitting across from me. And I looked up at him because he was telling me about one of his EVP sessions that he had in a room. And I saw a person run up behind him to a light post. And I like my eyes just got huge because all of a sudden he stopped and he was like, you just saw something. And I'm like, yeah, how'd you know? So he got up and checked and there was nobody there. And it was just like that. It was just so intense and just, it was a great investigation, but learning about the history was very depressing. So if you guys want to learn about the Stewart Indian School in Carson City, Nevada, I do highly recommend you look it up to educate yourself on what happened there. Brianna says, whenever I go take flowers to my great grandma at the cemetery, I love looking at the headstones and seeing all the dates and names. If I were to tell someone else that they would think I'm weird. Brianna, you can tell us. We're all weird here. You're fine. You can talk to us about awesome things like that. Hey, you know what? Also, Brianna, yeah, you need to get a Discord. When you get your Discord and everything, send me your username and number. So that way I can send you a friend request and we can get you added into the group chat. So that way we can all talk about that stuff. But anyway, I got to wrap this up really quick because my phone's about to die. So, Goldfield is just amazing. I love it there. It is so dilapidated and decrepit. I love it. Yeah, I love Goldfield, Nevada. It is great. It is full of just amazing history. Manny, oh my God, you're only just now getting on here and I have to wrap this up because my phone's about to die. You were slapping? It's okay. Or did you mean napping? Happy New Year's Eve, by the way. But yeah, so to wrap this up really quick, Goldfield, Nevada, I got to go there with my group and we did have permission to go inside the Goldfield Hotel. But by the time we got there, the lady Virginia at the time, she was the one that was holding the keys for Red. Red is the actual old man who owns the property. His friend Virginia was holding the keys for it, and she just didn't like us that day. She knew all about us. She had been waiting for us to get out there, but for some reason that day she did not like us. And because of that, she decided that she was not going to let us in the building. And I was pissed. But we still got to investigate the courthouse, and then we also got to investigate the abandoned school. And it's an abandoned school because it caught on fire back in like 19 something or other. I want to say 1915. I could be wrong on that. But it was just a long time ago. The building caught on fire and everything is still like pristine and it's just beautiful in there. I do have some photos from a disposable camera I took out there. So I'm going to save that whole story of my Goldfield experience for another live stream for you guys. Jace wanted to break into the hotel. Trust me, I did too. I wanted to break in there so bad. Oh my God. I wanted to like wait until Virginia was gone and just be like, hey, somebody's got my back. I'm going in. But I can't morally, I can't do that. But yeah, I have my Discord set up. I'll send you my username and number after you're done live streaming. Thank you, Brianna. Definitely. Please do. Julie, when I had cancer, I had a friend who also had cancer. He passed away and I didn't know. And I looked over my bed and he was sitting right next to me. And the next day I found out he passed away. Oh, wow. I have heard people having experiences like that where they didn't know somebody had passed away and they got a phone call from them after they were supposedly like already dead, and like they had a full on like conversation with them, not knowing that they were dead, later on finding out that they were dead like hours before, if not days. And that's just like, it blows my mind to like for people to have experiences like that. But yeah, I do have to let you guys go. My battery is like, it's scary how far down it is. Okay. I love you guys so much. Happy New Year's Eve. I hope you guys have a safe and wonderful time tonight. I know I'm going to be having a lot of fun with Secret Man over here. I love you guys so much. Are you going to watch Demon House tomorrow and 1 hour special? I'm not going to watch a 1 hour special tonight because we have plans. I hope to eventually. I don't know. I still haven't even seen the Halloween special, and I know I feel bad. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys more on Discord. Love you guys so much. And yin yang is balance, and the balance lies within yourself. Happy New Year's, guys. Love you. I'll see you in 2019.